You thought she was different, didn't you? The way she smiled, the way she said your name, the way she promised she'd stay. For a moment, it felt like certainty, as if the universe finally rewarded your patience. But then one morning the texts slowed, the tone changed, and you could feel it. That quiet distance that no words can hide. You didn't want to believe it, but something in your chest already knew. She's not yours anymore. Maybe she never was. That's the truth every man eventually faces. The moment he realizes that no matter how deep the connection, every love has an expiration date. She's never yours. It's just your turn. Painful? Yes. But once you understand what that means, you'll never see relationships, loss, or even yourself the same way again. Welcome to the Stoic Guy, where we rebuild men through philosophy, psychology, and self-discipline. Here, we don't chase what's temporary. We master what's eternal. Mindset, mission, and peace. If you've ever been left behind, if you've ever watched someone drift away and wondered why, stay until the end. Because this isn't about hate. It's about clarity. This is about learning the kind of emotional control that no heartbreak can shake. And if you're ready to stop begging the world to stay, hit subscribe, because here we learn how to walk alone without feeling lonely. Let's start. 1. The illusion of possession. Every man grows up believing love means ownership. That once she says, "I'm yours," you've somehow secured her devotion. But Stoicism teaches otherwise. Nothing external truly belongs to you. Not her, not the future, not even the version of yourself you were yesterday. Everything you touch is on loan from time, and time always collects. The problem is, modern love sells you the opposite story. That you can lock people down, that commitment equals permanence. But commitment doesn't freeze change. People grow, detach, evolve. You can't own evolution. You can only witness it. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you stop fighting the inevitable. She didn't betray you by changing. She fulfilled the nature of all things, impermanence. 2. Attachment and the ego of ownership. When she leaves, it isn't just your heart that breaks. It's your identity, because you attached your worth to being her choice. That's why rejection feels like death. Your ego built its house inside someone else's emotions, and now the landlord just evicted you. The Stoics called this the disease of externals, measuring your peace by what you can't control. You told yourself, "She completes me," but that's the first red flag of dependency. A complete man can share himself. An incomplete man dissolves himself. The truth is, the more you define yourself by who stays, the more lost you become when they leave. Love isn't ownership. It's collaboration between two sovereign souls. And if either one forgets that sovereignty, the connection rots from within. 3. Why she leaves and why you break. She leaves when the polarity fades. When she senses that you've become more invested in keeping her than in keeping yourself. And that's not always her fault. It's human nature to lose respect for what depends too much. The irony is, your fear of losing her usually creates the distance that loses her. Stoic philosophy reminds us, the man who fears loss has already lost himself. The more you cling, the more invisible you become. Detachment doesn't repel love. It refines it. You can't protect connection by holding tighter. You protect it by staying grounded in your mission, even while loving deeply. Because attraction lives in tension, in the dance between closeness and independence. Lose that balance, and you lose the respect that keeps love alive. And if you're still watching, respect. Most men click away the second a mirror gets held up. But you didn't. That means something. It means you're ready to understand what peace actually feels like when you stop trying to own people and start mastering yourself. If this hits, drop a like for the video and comment power. And if you're done confusing attachment with love, hit subscribe right now. Let's continue. 4. The Stoic perspective on impermanence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything you see will soon perish. The man who observes this will grow stronger." That's not cynicism. It's liberation. When you accept that everything ends, you stop clinging and start appreciating. You love better because you know it's finite. You hold softly, not desperately. You stop begging for promises and start valuing presence. Every relationship becomes a teacher, every heartbreak a lesson in perspective. You no longer measure connection by duration, but by depth. She was never yours. She was a visitor in your story, and you in hers. The pain only begins when you demand permanence from a world built on change. 5. The modern cycle of attachment. Modern dating thrives on fear of loss, endless texting, constant validation, public proof on social media, all symptoms of insecurity disguised as affection. We chase constant access because we mistake it for connection. But access without meaning is addiction. And the more addicted you become to someone's presence, the more they lose the urge to protect it. Real love is spacious. It breathes. The Stoic man knows how to give space without resentment. He knows that peace is magnetic. Desperation is repelling. If you can't survive her silence, you were never built to deserve her attention. You're still here. That tells me something. You're not just watching for entertainment. You're watching to evolve. You're the kind of man who wants to understand his pain instead of escape it. That's rare. That's strength. If this message speaks to you, drop any emoji in the comments, because you're part of the small group of men who can face truth without collapsing. 6. How to detach with dignity. Detachment isn't walking away in bitterness. It's walking away in balance. It's saying, I wish you well, but I wish myself peace more. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, imagining loss before it happens, not to live in fear, but to build immunity. Every day they reminded themselves, this person I love, this thing I value, it might vanish tomorrow. When you accept that, you stop reacting like the world owes you permanence. Detachment doesn't kill love, it purifies it. Because when you expect nothing, every moment becomes a gift instead of a guarantee. 7. Reclaiming power through refocus. So what do you do after the storm? You rebuild. You turn the time you once spent overthinking texts into discipline that sculpts your body, your craft, your direction. You replace late-night scrolling with late-night studying. You stop asking, why did she leave? And start asking, what did I neglect within myself? Every gym session becomes an act of philosophy. Every quiet morning becomes a statement. I am my own anchor now. The Stoic path isn't about closing your heart, it's about upgrading it, from reactive to reflective, from impulsive to intentional. You start to realize that peace isn't something you find in someone else's eyes, it's something you earn in silence. If you've made it this far, I would like to thank you for staying for this long. Most men won't, but you're not average. Most men look for comfort. You came here for truth. That choice alone makes you part of a rare brotherhood. Men who learn instead of blame. So stay locked in. What comes next isn't just a lesson. It's a story that will teach you what real detachment looks like when lived. Here's the story about the man who let her go. There was once a man who loved deeply, the kind of love that rewires a soul. He gave her laughter, patience, consistency. He believed that loyalty was proof enough to keep something permanent. But time began its slow, invisible work. Moments turned mechanical, warmth became routine. He felt her presence, but could sense her absence behind her eyes. One night, she confessed what he already knew. Her heart had moved somewhere he couldn't follow. He didn't beg. He didn't rage. He simply nodded, walked her to the door and whispered, "Thank you for the time." Weeks passed, and the silence that followed felt like winter. But winter is how the soil resets. He learned that emptiness isn't punishment, it's preparation. He started running again, training again, creating again. The same stillness that once screamed now guided him. And while she searched for new excitement, he found new depth. Months later, she saw him, calmer, stronger, sharper. She expected bitterness, but he carried none, only presence. And in that moment, she realized what he had become, the man who could love without needing to own. He didn't win her back, and he didn't need to. Because the prize was never her return. It was his resurrection. His peace became his power, and that power became his silence. He no longer looked for closure. He was the closure. Years later, when he spoke to younger men, he told them the truth most never want to hear. She's never yours. She's just your turn, your chance to learn how to love without losing yourself. And when they asked how he found peace, he smiled and said, "By realizing that everything borrowed from time must someday be returned, even love." So, what's the conclusion here? She was never yours, and that's okay. Every soul you meet is a teacher disguised as a temptation. Some stay to build with you, others come only to reveal you. The point was never to keep her. The point was to keep becoming. So stop chasing permanence in people. Build it in principle. Because once you belong fully to your purpose, no one can ever truly leave you. If this message hit you, drop a like and share it with another man who needs to hear it. Keep your standards high, your emotions steady, and your silence sacred. Stay stoic, stay sharp, and I hope to see you in the next video, and bye-bye and ciao.